just start, you know, I'm gonna light a candle. I'm just so stressed out. I can't even tell you. I'm so full of anxiety. It's just been a day. It's been a week. It's been a month. It's been 6 weeks. It's just nonstop. And I'm okay. But, whew, today has just been hard. But I did receive something in the mail. In our last Zoom, Dandelion Zoom for Patreon John, and I think it was just John, mentioned the Kakimori nib that he purchased from St. Louis Art Supply. And we were all pretty impressed with it. And I think one of the biggest bonuses for me that John talked about was the ability to use it with masking fluid. And so St. Louis Art Supply was sold out, but the Yoseka Stationary shop, which I order from frequently for my stationery supplies, had it in stock, and they had it in brass. So I got it in the brass. And eventually I'm going to get the stainless steel as well. So this nib is I don't even remember what it costs anymore. It's not inexpensive. However, when I buy 4 nibs, it's $11, and those 4 nibs might last me a few months. So really, this will pay for itself within a year of nib use. And if it works better, then that's even better. So yeah, it's made in Japan. It's called Kakimori metal nib, and this is in brass. It also comes in stainless steel. It comes in this lovely box. I think it's lovely anyways. And then inside, here is the nib, which is a thing of beauty, to be honest with you. And then it comes with this little booklet. When remove the metal nib, pull out slowly by turning. Okay. Okay, so just general care instructions, and yeah. So they also make a glass nib, which looks really lovely too, but I have glass nibs. I don't need another one. So I also purchased the nib holder because to me it was just so beautiful, and it's a lovely wood that will get patinaed over time. This is Sakura wood, so it comes from the Sakura tree, the cherry tree, and this is the nib. And so the nib fits perfectly into the holder. All right, and so when you remove it, you just twist it slowly and it comes out. Okay, and they're suggesting that you take it out to dry and store it separately, which I will do. So I use nibs often. I've got several here. I can show you. And I've got more in the other room. And I use the same nib all the time. These are Mangaji nibs, and they go bad. I mean, they don't last forever. And especially when you use them like I do with masking fluid and things like that. So all of these nib holders were fairly inexpensive. This one, there were some special things about it that suggested it might hold up a little bit better than these, which flake and fall apart. This glass nib has been great. However, it's a little bit awkward. It's a little bit heavy. It's heavy, but it is beautiful. But it's heavy to use. I do use it, but not to draw. I use it for more expressive things when I want to pull ink through a painting. So I wanted to just try this on some paper. This is just Stonehenge paper, and I have some ink here. This is Wear and Go ink. It's a fountain pen ink, and this one is called Half Moon with Dimmed Light. You can see on the bottom it has shimmer in it, so I don't use this in my good fountain pens, which to me, all my fountain pens are good. I do have one Moonman Mini that was really inexpensive that I have put this in, and it works fine. I'm really dedicated to my pens, and they're on my desk at all times. And so a couple times a week, I write with every pen in my journal, and I just write the name of the pen and the ink that's in it, and that just keeps it going. So you can see that just by agitating this, the shimmer is now mixed into the ink. When you have a shimmer ink in a pen, you never want to shake a fountain pen, right? So I just tilt it back and forth until the shimmer, is mixed in. So we're going to use this and just explore. So the first thing I want to do is I want to see how long one dip will last. So I'm going to tilt my hand and I'm just going to write. So that is a beautiful fine line, by the way. So if you wanted a fine line, that's lovely. I mean, that's a really nice writing line. It's finer than most of my fountain pens. This pen is perfect. It's totally asymmetrical and would be perfect for both lefties and righties, which is kind of nice. So it writes very well. But the first thing I want to do is I just want to make lines and see how long it lasts. So this half moon with dim light with the ink is a beautiful subtle gray, which I love. But when you tilt it, not necessarily when you use it with a fine nib, but I use it with like a medium nib. And when you tilt it, you get this beautiful subtle blue-gray shimmer. It's very pretty. And if you write a letter with a medium nib, as you read the letter, like it shifts. It's really beautiful. It's kind of a fun. So already I can tell you that this is longer than any dip pen I've ever used. So I'm thinking the ink goes inside of the nib and hangs out in there and then comes out at the bottom, I think. That's kind of amazing. I mean, you guys, really. You could have a really long drawing session or letter writing session or journal or novel or whatever you like to write. It's very comfortable. It's not showing any signs of stopping. You guys, I mean, that's pretty remarkable, don't you think? I mean, it's almost like having a fountain pen. You can change your ink whenever you want. Okay, it's just starting to run dry here. Yeah, okay, that is a heck of a lot of writing for one dip of a pen. And I don't even know if I dipped it the whole way. So let's dip it again. And let's take a look at the line variation that we can get. So if I'm drawing, if I'm sketching, I mean, and you can't do this with a regular nib, you would break it. I mean, that's pretty crazy. I mean, you could even use this to fill in areas of a drawing. Holy moly. It's really amazing. I mean, do you see how easily it goes from very fine to really thick? That's crazy. It's pretty cool. It would be wonderful for more expressive works too. Even like if you were to do, you know, expressive florals. It's really easy to use. I'm wondering what the stainless is like if you can get this wide. Um, Yeah, super easy to use. I'm kind of going off the paper there. I don't know, I'm just incredibly impressed. I'm really impressed with how long this lasts. I mean, and how fine it writes. So let's just clean this off. I'm just rinsing it in water. And let's try some masking fluid. You know, I bet you too, you could just make a watercolor wash, dip it, and you could draw, you could paint with this. That would be super cool. I bet you could. It'd be great for painting trees. Okay, let's see what John's talking about here. The masking fluid. So let's and you would want to rinse this immediately after use. Okay, I'm gonna go rinse this and let that dry, and then we're gonna test it out. So it cleaned really easily. I ran warm water over it. I don't know, I mean, I'm trying to blow air through it, and nothing happens. So I was at first worried that maybe that the ink was going inside of this somehow to make it work for so long. I mean, I am just super impressed with this. It's very cool. So let's see here. And I'll tell you, that's pretty fine. It's as fine as my pen. And it worked immediately, which sometimes a nib doesn't work immediately, right? So that's dry enough. Let's just put some paint down and let it dry and remove it and see what we have. Okay, we'll let that dry. And come back and see. I'm just kind of blown away by this. It's definitely worth it. If you have, so let's see how the nib works on another handle. So this is just an inexpensive, really inexpensive. As you can see, it's just fallen apart. It's very loose. Yeah, it's gonna fit in there. I don't wanna do it because I don't wanna wreck it, but it will definitely fit in a standard nib holder. This is my most comfortable one. And it will fit there too. You can just tell. It's the same kind of hole as this one. It's exactly the same. So it's gonna fit in any standard nib holder if you don't wanna buy the special one. But I wanted to buy the special one. Wow, that's super cool. So they have a few different kinds too. They also have one, let's see. Sakura wood, tin urushi, black urushi, Tokushima indigo, and aluminum. The indigo one was the one I wanted the most, but it was very expensive. So it was dyed with Japanese indigo flowers. And it was gorgeous, but I didn't want to spend that much money. Maybe someday. But yeah, that maybe for when I get the aluminum one, I'll get that. But come on, dry for me. Yeah, it's gonna take a minute to dry. I will be back, but I am so impressed with how easy and how amazing, how much mileage you get from one dip. Pretty incredible. Okay, so let me just works like a charm. That's as fine as any pen I've ever used to do masking. It's a go for me. But I would say if you're going to use it for masking fluid, use it, get up every like this much and rinse it with warm water. Rinse it thoroughly, or have a cup of warm water to rinse it and wipe it clean. And then use it again for a little bit and then do it again. You don't want that masking fluid to dry in here in any way. That would be my trick. I usually don't do a whole lot more than this, and I usually stop and rinse my nib anyways, because it gets, the kind of drying gum I use gets kind of dry quickly. Yeah, I'm really impressed. I would 100% recommend it. It is very, very special. Very, very special. So that's it. The Kakimori metal nib in brass. Eventually I will definitely get the stainless steel. Wonderful. Thanks for watching.